Okay. So a lot of theory question. This is a theory question will come out for under this chapter. I already give you the link to download the worksheet. You all can download the worksheet. First, I will explain. Then after that, you all do the exercise lah. Okay, there are there are a lot of documents actually. Business document. What is the business document? Business document is the proof of the transaction. Okay, you come school, you pay the tuition fee to the school, right? So after 1 month, if the school say you didn't pay, so what you will show? You will show the receipt that the school give you whenever you pay. So that's a proof. Business document is a proof that the transaction already take place. Business document is the proof that the transaction take place already. So you go to the go into the bus. The bus give you the ticket. It's a business document also. You go 7-Eleven, buy something, they give you the receipt. It's a business document also. Any transaction that can prove by a document, that one we call business document. And this from accountant's point of view, okay, business document is the source of the information to record accounting record. Okay, I want to do a sales account. So I write the date of the sales. I buy from who, and also I buy from for what, and everything I will get from the particular Okay, the students who just joined, I already give you the worksheet. You all can download. Any question, please ask me. Okay, come back here. The source of document. What is the source of document? Whenever we want to prepare a journal or ledger, any sort of accounts, we will get the information. From the document, the business document, the date, the when you buy, what you buy, okay, how you buy on cash or buy on credit, everything will be stated in the document. We will get information from that. That's why I'm telling business document is the source of information, source of accounting records. Okay, there are a lot of documents, but in your IGCSE they are limited to 5 to 6 documents. The first document is invoice. Okay, whatever that I write in a blue color, if you haven't print this on, you can copy in a testpad. Whatever that I write in a blue color, it's important. So you write in a testpad or anywhere. Later, whenever you do exercise, you need that. Okay, first one is invoice. The first document that I want to introduce to you is invoice. What is invoice? Invoice is a document for credit sales or credit purchases. Credit sales or credit purchases, we will use invoice. Okay, and if it is a credit sales, we will issue the document, issue or send the document. If you issue means you are the one prepare, you prepare and then you send to someone. It means you are selling the invoice, you are selling the sales, something like the invoice is sales invoice. If you purchases, normally you will receive. If you receive an invoice that you receive means you purchase on credit. If you send invoice means you sell on credit. If you receive an invoice means you purchase on credit. Understand now, everyone? Okay, always remember invoice can be credit sales or credit purchases. Whatever I write in a blue color, please copy in a test pad or any empty paper. So later you need this. We read the worksheet here. When a business sell goods, they will issue an invoice to a purchaser. Each business has their own style invoice. The invoice format, there's no fixed format in the invoice format. Different business will have a different format. Some business, they have a A4 size, some have a B4 size, some very small, some very big. It's their wish. Different company, they have their own style of preparing invoice. But regardless what format or what size you are preparing, your statement, your business account, your invoice must consist of 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 main information, including the fifth one. Including the fifth one. Okay, the first one, in your invoice, you must write the name and then the address of the supplier. Supplier means the seller. Supplier means the seller. So you must write the name and address of the supplier. Next one is the name and address of the customer, the buyer. You must have the name and then address of the buyer. I repeat again. First one, supplier must have the name and the address. The buyer's name, buyer's address also must be there. And another one is date. The date also must be there. The date also must be there. Apart from the date, we must have a full details of the things that you buy. Okay, example, the quantity, how many quantity you buy, what is the price of each product, okay, and what product you buy, such as color, the detail, the size of the product, anything like any detail on the product must be recorded in the invoice. And also, if there is any trade discount, it must be shown as a deduction. You must show in a invoice as a deduction. Before we continue, do you know what is the difference between cash discount and trade discount? If no, please tell me no, so I can explain to you. Do you know what is the difference between trade discount and cash discount? If no, please tell me no, so I can explain before we continue. You all know trade discount and cash discount. There's a 2 type of discount, but the discount inside the invoice is only the trade discount. Cash discount later in a receipt or in a check. Whenever you, yes, trade discount, people will give you the trade discount whenever you buy in bulk. But the cash discount, people give you whenever you pay faster. Whenever you pay faster, the people will give you the cash discount. But the trade discount, whenever the more you buy, the higher discount you get. Very good. Everybody okay? Huh? Okay, this is the invoice. This is the invoice that we get. An example of the invoice that I take from your textbook. Different company have a different type of invoice, so I cannot fix the format. So what are the things that we have normally will have? First one is invoice number. This one is the invoice number. Every invoice, every document that we issue must have a number, serial number 001, 002, 003, like that, the serial number. So this is the invoice serial number. And then the name of the document must be there. The name of the document must be there. In an invoice, this is the seller, the seller's name, and then the address of the seller will be here. The buyer's name and then the address of the buyer will be here. This here will be the date of the transaction when you buy or when you sell. And then can you see or not? The detail of the information. The detail right here, the quantity. They buy 30 meter or bro coat fabric design. This is the code number, color. The color is this color lah. Okay, and how much is 1 meter? They buy 30 meter. They buy 30 meter. 1 meter is $15. 1 meter is $15. So then we get 450. How do I get a 450? I take 30 meter times with 15. 13 meter times with the 15, I get 450. Same thing, I buy another product, 10 meter polycotton fabric design for P21, color is lemon. Then I buy 10 meter. I buy 10 meter. 1 meter is $6. So 10 times 6, I get 60. Understand? Sometimes I have seen one exam question. They put an X here. They put a Y here. They ask you to calculate X and Y. So you need to take 10 times is 6 times that. Understand? Sometimes the question will ask you to do like that. Okay, then next one is you total up. The total, these two total, we get 510. And this is the This 510 is actually list price. 510 is a list price. Do you know what is the list price? List price is the original price before you minus your trade discount. List price is the original price before you minus the trade discount. So after that, the question says there's a 20% of the trade discount. Okay, since they buy 30 meter, 10 meters, quite a lot lah. Consider quite a lot. So they give you a trade discount of 20%. So how do I calculate the 20%? 510 times with 20%. 510 times with the 20%, we will get 102. 102, that's your discount, trade discount. So 510 minus with the trade discount. 510 minus with the trade discount will get 408. 510 minus with the 102, we get 408. Sorry, 408. That's a final figure. Final purchase price or final sales price. Understand or not? Okay, next one, there's a terms. Sometimes some companies, they put a terms here. What is the terms? I see the terms. The terms is 2.5% cash discount. You have a cash discount of 2.5% if you pay by 31st May. Today's date is 3rd April. Today's date is 3rd April. If you pay within 31st May, if you pay 31st May, within 31st May, you have a cash discount. Okay, what is the purpose just now? I see the trade discount. What is the purpose of the trade discount? Why people give you the trade discount? It's a bulk. Whenever you buy in a bulk, we will give the trade discount. If you pay faster, pay on time or before the due date, the given time lah, pay before the given time, then we will get a cash discount. Cash discount. There's a two type of discount. One is a trade discount. Another one is a cash discount. Okay, can you look at the invoice and any problem you ask me? Okay, the few things that I want you to understand. There are few things, very good. There are few things that I want you to remember. Remember, invoice is if you issue the invoice, you are selling and it will be issued by a seller. Another thing that I want you to remember, invoice is issued by seller. It will be issued by the seller. Remember that. And received by purchaser. First thing, done already, invoice. Okay, next one. Debit note. Debit note is normally, okay, before we move on, let me give you an overview. This is the seller. And this one is the buyer. Okay. At first, normally, the buyer will go to the seller, will order. The buyer will go to the seller, order things, order. After you order, the seller will send the things, will send the product. Send product with invoice. Understand? And then once the buyer receives the product with the invoice, he will open it, he will check. If the buyer is not satisfied, or some mistake happened, they order black color, the seller send the red color, or some problem, what the buyer will do, the buyer will send a debit note. The buyer will send to the seller debit note. This debit note's purpose, the debit note purpose is to request for return or reduce. Request for reduce or request for very good. Okay, request for return or request for reduce the amount in the invoice, because out of the 10 product, 2 product is broken, or you ordered, they mistakenly calculate, you order 15 product, they send 15 product, but they charge for 18 product in the invoice. So you want to ask them to reduce, request for return or request for reduce the amount. Very good. Okay, then after that, this guy, this seller will check again his work, and then if the seller agree with the buyer, yes, you need to reduce or you can return means, so the seller will send credit note. Seller will send credit note. And what is the purpose of the credit note? The purpose of the credit note is to approve the return or the reduce of the value of the invoice. Okay, once the credit note are we received by buyer, it means, okay, our request is already approved. We going to minus the debt. Okay, after that only, the buyer will send the seller a check. And I believe you people know what is the purpose of check. The purpose of the check is to pay the debt, to pay the balance debt. Then after that, the seller will send receipt. Is a proof of payment. Proof of the payment received. Understand? Okay, you see the sequence, you see the sequence. First, the buyer will order to seller, and then the seller will send the product with the invoice. And then if got problem in the invoice, then buyer will send seller debit note. The seller will send to the buyer a credit note whenever he approves this return. And then everything settled ready, buyer know how much to pay ready, then the buyer will send a check to pay the debt that the guy owed to the seller. And then once the seller receive the payment, and then the seller will send a receipt for the buyer as a acknowledgement that the money are received. Okay, there's one more there's a question here. Let me read the question. The note to request for discount is no debit note. Okay. In accounting, normally you cannot request for discount. You cannot request for discount. I don't know in a business study got or not, but in accounting, normally we cannot. You cannot request for discount. The discount will automatically charge whenever you buy in bulk. If you buy in bulk, automatically we have a terms. We will follow the terms. That's it. You specially cannot request. Okay. If you buy in bulk, automatically you get a trade discount. If you pay in faster, you automatically will get a cash discount. This is automatic, so that you cannot request for the discount on. Okay, then the last one, another document that I would like to include here is the last one is the seller will send to the buyer. The seller will send to the buyer on the end of the month. End of the month, the seller will send to the buyer statement of account. Okay, what is the purpose of the statement of account? Statement of account is to summary the transaction, summarize the transaction of the month. Summarize the transaction of the month. So both people can counter check. So both people can counter check the transaction that happened during the month. So these are the documents that we are going to learn. We already learned about invoice already. So now we will move on to the debit note, credit note, check, receipt, and statement of account. So, but out of all this, if you realize here, some documents I write in a red color. Some document I write in an orange color. Okay, some document I write in a red color, some document that I write in an orange color. You remember this, whatever that I write in a red color will be record in accounts. We will use the document to record, to do accounts. We will record in accounts. Can be any accounts, can be ledger, can be journal, can be any book of cash book, any book of prime entry. We will use that document to record in the accounts book. But whatever in the orange color, it's just a notification. Just a notification document. So it's not no, it's cannot. You cannot record in any book. Remember this. If you want to screenshot this, you can screenshot this. If you want to screenshot this, you can screenshot this. Okay. So the red color will be recorded in accounting books, all the any accounting book, book of prime entries. But the orange color document, it's just a notification document. Since it's a notification document, so we cannot record in any book, any accounting book. Okay, I give you 1 minute. You want to copy or you want to screenshot? You got any question? Please ask me. I give you 1 minute, please. Okay, if no, okay, there's a question here. There's one student asked me, hello, I say you cannot record. Okay, the student asked me where they record a debit note. They don't record, they just put in a file on it. It's just a request. It's just a request to reduce. They request and a request, don't record anywhere, because if the request is approved, then there's a credit note. The credit note will be recorded. The credit note will be recorded. Okay. The debit note just for the filing purpose. We don't record in any accounting book. Okay, there's another question here. Then if no problem, then just order, then straight away go check. Yes, if no problem, you order. After you order, they will send you invoice. You order, then you send your invoice. After invoice, straight away will go to the check. If there is no return, straight away go to the check. After check, receipt. After receipt, statement of account. That's it. If there's no nothing problem, means straight away will go to the statement, check, receipt, and statement of account. Statement of account. Okay, another purpose of statement of account. Another purpose is statement of account is, let's say, I give you one example here. On January, we buy, we sell, we pay, we buy, we sell, we buy, and then we pay, all happen lah. So what we do, End of the January, I send you a statement of account. I send a statement of account to that guy. Then after February, there is no transaction. We didn't buy, we didn't sell, nothing. Do you think on the February I will send a statement of account? January, I buy to the guy sell to me, and then the guy pay me, I pay the guy, everything happened. So end of the month, I send statement of accounts. In a February, I didn't buy, I didn't sell to the guy, didn't pay also, nothing, no transaction happened between that guy and me on the February. Do you think I will send a statement of account? Yes. Even though it's an empty statement of accounts, we still send the statement of accounts. That's a practice of accounting, still same. Two reasons to send a statement of account. There's a two reason. Even though empty, I didn't buy, I didn't sell. Two reason. Reason number one, on January, maybe you have a balance that you haven't paid. Got the balance. You already signed a statement of account on January. The guy didn't pay you. So what do? In a February, you send another statement just to remind the guy, oi, last month you buy from me, you haven't paid me yet. You send an invoice to remind the guy to pay the balance. Even though the guy didn't do any transaction, the guy still owe us from the previous month or previous year. So we'll send a statement of account, first thing. If no balance, the guy settled. On January, the guy settled all the debt, nothing. Zero debt, but zero already. But still, we will print a statement of accounts. We still print statement of accounts. We will send to that guy to tell the guy, hello, hi, I'm still here. Last time you do business a lot. Now, this time we didn't do any business. Okay, to remind the guy your existence. Tell the guy you exist. Okay, your business still here. But you didn't do anything, just simply send one statement. It will bring the business. The guy suddenly will remember, oh, last time I buy from this guy, I want to buy again. You understand or not? Okay, even though there's no transaction or for the month, if we got balance from last month, we still send a statement of account to remind the guy to settle the previous month debt or previous year debt. Or even though there's no transaction, we still send an empty statement of accounts. We'll put okay, the date and everything. Then transaction for the month, NIL, nil. No transaction, we still send this document, statement of account to remind the guy we are still here. That's a practice of real life. In a real life, a lot of business doing this. You get the point now? Okay, now we move on to the another document, which is debit note. Now we move on to the another document, which is the debit note. The first one we already do already. First one is invoice. Second one is debit note. Debit note is the customer, whenever we receive the invoice, the customers should check the goods received, okay, and also in a good condition, and also to check the exactly what they order or not. Whatever they receive, is it same as what they order? Is it same color, same size? Okay, same whatever requirement lah. Okay, if there's any problem, the supplier must be informed by any shortage. You know, shortage, I order 10, you receive 7. I order 10, you receive only 7. That's a shortage. Overcharge. What is overcharge? It's supposed to be 20 ringgit plus 20 ringgit, 40. But the guy go write 50. They overcharge me. Or any faulty. Faulty means broken or something lah. Okay, anything happened. So this is done by issuing a debit note to supplier. Debit note to supplier. Okay. My question here is, the debit note will be issued by who? Buyer or seller? Debit note will be issued by who? Buyer or seller? Very good. Invoice will be issued by seller. Invoice issued by the seller. Okay. But debit note is, okay, I receive an invoice. I receive a product. Who am I? I'm a buyer. I receive the invoice. I open the invoice. I check the invoice. I check the product. The product got problem. Who will realize this problem? The buyer or seller? The buyer will realize this. So the buyer will send another document. Buyer will send another document to the seller, request for reduce the amount in the invoice. So debit note will be issued by buyer. Everyone okay? Everyone okay or not? Any problem? You understand this? Later you need to answer the question also. All this you need to know. Okay, debit note is for the purpose of debit note. Debit note is the request to reduce invoice or request for return. Request for return or request for reduce the invoice. Okay, as I told you, different company, different business, they have a different way of preparing debit note. Okay, but all the business, they have a minimum information that they have is name of the address and name and address of the supplier, name and address of the customer, the date, the full detail, quantity, price, and also the reason. Sometimes we add the reason also. The reason for reduce. Why you requesting? Why you request reduce? Overcharged or broken or whatever. You need to tell the reason also in a journal, in a debit note. Okay, this is the example of the debit note. Example of the debit note. As usual, we have a serial number. All the document in accounting will have a serial number. All the document in accounting will have a serial number. And then the name of the document. This time, the top one, because this document issued by the buyer, right? So the up one is the buyer, the down one is the seller. Okay, this one is the date. And then you return 10 meter, $6.60. Whenever you buy or you sell, you have a trade discount. Then whenever you return also, you must minus with the trade discount. You must read the minus with the trade discount. So after trade discount is 48. And can you see now reason? The reason is wrong color supplied. Wrong color supplied. And we request them to please issue a credit note, because when I send the debit note, can I go record as a return? Can or cannot? Okay, I see, oh, this thing broken already. So I prepare the debit note. I send to the guy debit note. Then I write purchases return. Can I record the purchases return? No. Why no? Because the debit note is just a request. Debit note just a request. After that, when the seller give us a credit note, then only the return is approved, so we can record in our book. So the debit note is just a request, just a notification or a request to them. So the request will be passed or not, it depends on the seller. The seller will check. Oh, then they check the order. Yes, the request can be rejected. The request can be rejected. And then they will take the order form. They take the order form, they check. Oh, no, your order shows lemon. So I also send the lemon. So it's like we follow the order form. So maybe this guy mistakenly ordered. So is it the seller's wrong? No, it's the buyer's wrong. So you cannot return. So it depends on the situation. But I never seen in IGCSE level, I never seen any request rejected. I never. But in you higher levels, maybe yes, they will have a rejection. Then you need to record and they will make it more complicated in a higher level of accounting. In IGCSE level, I don't think so. They will put the rejection on. Okay, but can be rejected. The request can be rejected. Okay, continue. Next one is a credit note. Credit note issued by seller. Credit note will be issued by the seller. And what is the purpose of the credit note? Credit note is mainly for return. Mainly for return or approve reduction in invoice. Credit note mainly for return goods or approve reduction in invoice. We read the worksheet. When the goods are returned, reported faulty, or where there has been an overcharged on the invoice. You know what's overcharged? Okay, 10 plus 10 is 40. This is the overcharged. Okay, on the invoice, the supplier may issue credit note. Each business, they have their own way of credit note, but all the business must have this four thing, the same thing, same as the invoice. Name of the supplier, address of the supplier, name and address of the buyer or customer, date, full detailed quantity, and then also the goods are written. Okay, goods are written, and the reason why they are accept the return. As usual, we have a credit note number, serial number, the name of the document, seller, buyer, date, quantity detail. Okay, then we need to minus the discount also, and then the reason why they accept. Okay, actually wrong color supplied. I'm so sorry. They give you this. Understand? Okay, just to recap before we go for next one. We already learned few document. The first one that we learn is invoice. What is the purpose of invoice? Whenever you buy or sell on credit, the seller will issue or the seller will send the invoice. Whenever there's any problem in the invoice or in the goods supplied, the buyer will send the debit note to request, reduce or return. Credit note will send by the seller to the buyer, to request, to approve the return. Understand now? Then after that, we continue. Next document is document number 4, statement of account. Check later we come, check and receipt later. First, we go for statement of account. Okay, statement of account is end of each month. End of each month, the supplier will usually issue each customer a statement of account. This is the summary of the transaction for the month. Summary of the transaction for the month. Okay, so inside the statement of account, what are the information that will be there? First one, the name and then the address of the supplier, the name and address of the customer, the date, the balance owing at the beginning of the year, the invoice and credit note issued. You see, debit note we don't record here. And payment received, any cash discount allowed, and also the balance owing at the end of the year. So we like indirectly remind the guy, hey, you owe me this much of money, I pay faster. We indirectly remind the guy. Okay. This is the example of the statement of account. And statement of account, normally we don't put any serial number because statement of account is like an extra document to remind people. So we no need to keep any serial number. Name of the document, the seller's name will be here. The buyer's name will be down here. Date, and then all the transaction happened during the year, during the month actually. Okay, if there's any due, then we will remind the guy lah. The last amount shown in the balance column is the amount due. So we remind the guy. Okay, today's date is 30th April. If you pay by 31st May, then you get a cash discount. So we like request the guy to pay as soon as possible. Okay, after that, check. Okay, for check, actually there's a 2-part in a check. I don't know whether you people in a real life have you seen the checkbook. In a real life, have you seen the checkbook? Normally, you see, let's say this is my check. Let's say this is my check, right? Okay, what I do, I write a check. Normally, we will tear the check. Have you seen that? We tear the check. This check will be given to the guy. Okay, this part, the small part we will keep as our reference for the payment. Okay, have you seen the checkbook like this? Okay, they write a check, they will tear the check, they will give you to the whoever you want to pay. The small part, very good. The small part we will keep. Okay, that small part we call that check counterfoil. The small part we call that check counterfoil. Okay, the actual check is check lah. The actual check, this one we tear here. This part will be given to the person who you want to pay, and this check counterfoil you keep for your own reference. So inside the check counterfoil, you write the date, you pay to who, and how much you pay, and what is the check number. So later, after 1 month or after 2 weeks, you want to know, hey, how much I pay to this guy? Okay, I pay to this guy how much? And then who do I pay? When I pay? All this you will have the information here for your reference. And you pay to the guy. Normally we write the date. Okay, this one already printed in a bank in a checkbook lah. Already the bank name will be printed. You write the guy's name, who you want to pay, and how much you want to pay in a word and also in a number lah. And then you sign your sign, and then this one all printed in a checkbook. Okay, what is the purpose of check? Check is a written order to the bank to pay a stated amount. What is the stated amount? Stated sum is this a stated sum, okay, of the money to the person or the business named on the order. The named on the order means this guy lah. Okay, it's a written order to the bank to pay this amount to this percent to the bank. You tell the bank to pay this amount to this guy. You understand now? So who will issue the check? Who will issue the check? Issued by the seller. You sell and then you pay. Very good, are you? If you do business, next time let me know. I'll come and buy. If I come and buy from you, then you pay me some more. You sell and then you pay for me. Okay, issued by buyer. Issued by buyer. The buyer will issue the check. When the seller receive the check, and then the seller will issue the receipt. The seller will issue the receipt. What is a receipt? Receipt is a written acknowledgement, money received, as a proof of payment. Okay, receipt is the acknowledgement of the money received and also act as a proof of the payment. Okay, this is the example of the receipt. Normally they write the document name, and then the receipt number must have the receipt number, and then this is your number, your name lah. Okay, your name, and then how much money that you receive, from who you receive, how much you receive, and then the date, and then the sign lah. The person who received the money will sign also and give the receipt. But in Malaysia, we use a different type of receipt. A different company, they have a different way of their using doing the receipt, but the information will be there all. Okay, so roughly you people understand the 6 documents that we have. The 7th document is not in your syllabus, but I want to tell you, okay, it's a bill. Sorry, cash bill. Cash bill or cash till. Cash bill or cash till. What is a cash bill or cash till? It's not in your syllabus, but I want you to know is buy or sell on cash. You go 7-Eleven, right? You go 7-Eleven, you buy something, they give you the something, right? That one is not a receipt. That's not a receipt. But in Malaysia, everything also we call receipt. But it's not a receipt. It's actually cash till. Okay, cash till. We call that cash till, not bill. It's cash till. Okay, so the 7-Eleven or any shopping complex, all this, that one buy or sell on cash. We will receive a cash till or cash bill also can. Okay, if you understand all the 7, I give you 1 minute. I want you to answer this. The first one I'll do for you, but the rest I want you to do yourself. Alan sells goods. Alan is the seller because Alan sells good. To Vicky. To Vicky means Vicky is the buyer. During July, 4 documents were issued. Complete the table by place a tick. Okay, to show the issued by who. Who issued? Invoice will be issued by the seller. So answer is Alan. Credit note will be issued by who? Anyone? Not anyone. Everyone. Credit note will be issued by the seller. Seller is Alan. Debit note will be issued by Buyer, which is the Vicky, very good. Statement of account will be issued by seller, so Alan. Easy, huh? This is a past year question now in the year 2013. In the year 2013, this is the past year question, very easy. Very good. Okay, we move on to the another question. Okay, I give you maybe 3 minutes to fill in the blanks. Never. I won't give you this easy question in MOOC 1, MOOC 2. Okay, and definitely your year 11, MOOC 1, MOOC 2 will be harder than, so easier than your, I'm sorry, it's harder than real exam, real IG. Your MOOC 1, MOOC 2 in a year 11, MOOC 1, MOOC 2 will be harder, easier than the real exam. Your real exam will be easier than the paper that I said. Okay, fill the blanks. I give you 3 minutes. All the words to this one you can get from the previous page. I already sent you the link, right? You can download the year 10 notes. Inside the link got year 10, year 11. You just download the year 10 and then you can find the answer and fill in here. I give you 3 minutes. Okay, faster. Do it yourself. If you haven't print now, you can take a test pad, right? Number 1, what. Number 2, what. Number 3, what. Number 4, you write in a test pad also can. If you haven't print now. Okay, I give you 3 minutes from now, faster. Done? Can we discuss? All done? You need more time? Okay, Dana. Anyone still doing? Please let me know. I'll give you extra time. Anyone still doing? Please let me know. I'll give you extra time. Okay, I'll give you another 1 minute. Can I? I'll give you another 1 minute. The student who done, please read again, check. I'll give you another 1 minute. I think it's supposed to done already lah. Okay, let me discuss the answer. Invoice is a document issued by the supplier, or you want to say seller also can. Supplier or seller, both are acceptable, both are same lah. Of the goods on credit. It must be on credit, not on cash. It's on credit. Showing what? Showing the details. Quantities and price of the goods supplied. Debit note is a document issued by the purchaser or buyer also can. Buyer also same, not purchaser or buyer of a goods on credit also. To request a reduction. Request a reduction in the invoice received and will enter into the accounting record or never entered in accounting record. Will or never. Never entered in the accounting record. Remember this. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Yeah, all okay? Yeah? What is not can? Also can, yes. Not entered in accounting record also can. Not entered in accounting record also can. Okay, as long the meaning same, you can use the any choices of the word. Next one is credit note is a document issued by a supplier or seller. Both are can. Supplier or seller of the goods on credit. To notify of a reduction in the invoice previously issued. Notify of a reduction. There's a reduction. Statement of account is a document issued by the seller or supplier. Both are can. Seller or supplier of the goods on the credit to summarize to summarize the transaction for the month. Okay, check is a written order. Check is a written order to the bank to pay a stated sum of the money to the stated person. Receipt is a written acknowledgement of the money received and act as a proof of payment. Proof of payment. Check your answer. Okay, next one, next question. Okay, this one, the first one I'll do for you. The rest I want you to do yourself. Let's try. Wait, number 3. Can approve, notify or approve the reduction in invoice also can. Correct. Okay, next one. Aisha sells on credit to Ravi. So when I read this, I need to know who is the buyer, who's the seller. Aisha sell. So Aisha is the seller, Ravi is the buyer. The following information is related to the month of February 2019. February 1, Ravi owed 400. Okay. Credit sales to Ravi. Credit sales to Ravi. This much. Ravi requests a return. Aisha agreed Ravi's return goods. And Ravi paid the balance by bank transfer. So these are the key points that I can see. The question is, name the document which could be issued on each of the following dates. Name the document which would be issued on each of the following date. Number 3. Number 3 is this one, credit sales. Credit sales, what document? Credit sales is invoice. Credit sales is invoice. An invoice will be issued by seller. And in this story, who is the seller? You cannot write seller. You cannot write seller. You must write the person's name. Okay, who's the seller here? Aisha. Aisha is the seller. Okay, you understand this? Okay, if you understand, can you do 12, 14, and B? 12, 14, and 28B lah. Okay, these 3. I give you 2 minutes. Or 2 minutes is actually extra already. 2 minutes more ready. Can you do? Jitesh, are you okay, Jitesh? Any problem? Yeah. Ask me. Okay, good. Others got any problem? Please ask me. No problem. Can you do this? There's a question here for February 3, the 25 is charged into the 700. Yes. Okay. Since there's one student asked me, it's not related for this question, but since you asked me, I explained it now. 1 minute. Everyone watch me. How much is the sales? How much is the value of the sales? Here, debit what, credit what actually? Debit what, credit what? Let's say you are the Aisha. You are the Aisha. You Aisha means you debit the Ravi credit sales. How much? 585. 585. How do I get a 585? 700 times with 80%. You know why I times with the 80%? Because they say 20% is the discount. If 20% less means the balance is 80%. Plus with 25 for the charged. So 585 you charge to the Ravi. Understand now? Okay, good. Okay, now can you answer 12, 14 and B? I give you 2 minutes. I give you 2 minutes. First up, try. Any problem, ask me. No problem, please do. If you can do B, you're very good. If you can tell the B answer, you're very good. Okay, let's try. Try first. I give you a few minutes. Think. Think carefully and answer. Oh, some people are very good. You send me the answer, correct? Okay, 12. What is the answer? Request for the return. Request for the return. Request for the return is debit note. Debit note normally will issue by the buyer. Buyer here is Ravi. 14 is approve the return. Approve the return is credit note. Credit note is Aisha. Okay, how about the B? Who can answer the B? Very good. Okay, some of the student they come and tell me, oi, 28th February, where got 28th February here? No 28th February. This is the question wrong. No, the question is not wrong. The question is not wrong. 28th February is last day. Last day we will send one document to all the customers. Very good. Which is very good. Statement of account, statement of account. The reason for issue this, okay, got a lot of reason. I give you three reason. I give you three reason. You can choose either one, or better you copy all. Later you can remember either one. First one is to remind Ravi. Remind Ravi of the amount due or amount owing. Another one is to summarize the transaction. Summarize the transaction of the month. Another one is to allow Ravi to check his records against the statement of account. Okay, you can counter check their account. Understand? Okay, so this one okay. Question number 4, question number 5, question number 6, question number 7. You do yourself. Answer for this, right? Just now I give you a link. Just now I given you a link, right? In a while, after this lesson, I will save the answer for all this question inside that particular link. You can open later lah. After this lesson, you can open the link. I will upload the answer there. You can check the answer there. Okay, but now I would like to do some objective questions, because in IGCSE objective question also coming out. Okay, and people are some students are struggling to answer the objective questions. Okay, here it's too small. Okay, 3 questions. First we do the 3 questions. 3 question, 3 minutes. 3 question, 3 minutes. Answer, then we will discuss the answer. MCQ. 3 question, 3 minutes, and then we will discuss. How's that? Okay, discuss. Are you done? Very good. Okay, we discuss the answer. Wait, First one, which business document contains the detail of purchases return, payment occur during the year, during the trading period? Which one? Anyone? Did your invoice got the payment return? No. Invoice don't have the return payment all. Invoice got details of purchase, correct? But they don't have return. Credit, yes, detail of the return. Debit note is the request only. So which one will have all of this? Statement of accounts, summary of the transaction. Get it? Next one. Dave supplies goods to Peter on credit. On the 1st April, Peter owed Dave 440. Dave sent and received these documents in the April. What was the closing balance? Anybody can tell me what's the closing balance? Others? C is wrong. C is wrong. I say C is wrong. First, I owe the guy 440. First, I owe the guy 440. And then I buy from the guy 360. So it will be increased 360. I buy something from the guy, so it's increased 360. After that, what happened? I pay the guy. If I pay the guy, how much I pay? I pay 429. I pay 429. And also, I receive a discount of 11. So discount will reduce my debt also. Discount will reduce my debt also. Understand not? Okay. And debit note, we don't record the debit note. We don't record the debit note. Credit note will return. Return means will reduce the debt also. Understand? A lot of people, you people didn't see this 11. Whenever we receive discount, no, this 429 is the check. Check means you pay 429 means you pay after the discount one. Yes, I owe you 200. Example I give you, I owe you 200 ringgit. I owe you 200 ringgit, and then I pay you 180 after minus the discount. I pay 180 after minus the discount of 20. So how much my debt reduce? 200. 180 because I pay, 20 because I get a discount. Do you get or not? Another student, do you understand? They say after, Okay, very good. All good, huh? Any problem, please ask me. So what's the answer? 440 plus 360 minus 429 minus 11 minus 50. Answer 310. Answer is B. Okay, question number 3. Asina buy radios for Nazneen at the list price. Okay, do you remember or not? What's the list price? List price means the price before minus trade discount is 10. Asina bought 12 radios and was offered 20% cash, a trade discount, and 4% cash discount. 2 radios were faulty, were returned to Nazmin. What was the total credit note? Okay, they want return lah, but wait now. Let me ask you, how much is the purchase price of the one radio? How much is the purchase price of the one radio? No? You remember just now I got to explain this in an invoice. The 510 is the list price. 510 is the list price. You need to minus with the trade discount, then only you get a purchase price. The list price always need to minus with the trade discount, only the trade discount, not the cash discount. You cannot touch the cash discount. You will get the cash discount whenever you pay first. Whenever you pay, then only there will be a cash discount. But the trade discount, whenever you buy itself, you have a trade discount. So the list price is the price before they minus the trade discount. And then the purchase price, the final purchase price will be after you minus. So, wait, I go back to the question. So the original list price is 10. And then we have a trade discount of 20. So how much is the purchase price? Not 2, 2 is the discount. 2 is the discount. So 10 minus 2 is the purchase price is 8. One product is $8 after the discount price. We will sell after the discount price. And how many radio is a problem? There are 2 radio is returned. And then they're asking the credit note. Credit note is actually used for return. Credit note used for the return. So 2 radio times with 8 each. How much? 16. Answer is B. Are you all following me? Understand not? Read the question carefully, word by word. Okay, you read this one first. I will repeat this. Can you read the question? I'll repeat this. I write here. The list price each radio is 10. And that is 20% trade discount. So how much is the trade discount? $10 times with 20%. I get $2. So now the purchase price is $8 each. Now the question say credit note. Credit note means return. You return how many radio? Return 2 radio. 2 radio, 1 radio is $8. Purchase price is the $8. So how much is the return price? 16. Do you understand? The student who asked me to repeat. You understand or not? Okay. And what about the 4%? 4% is the cash discount. 4% is the cash discount. What is the cash discount? Cash discount is whenever the guy pay faster, then you get a cash discount. When we will give the cash discount, whenever you pay. When you pay only, we can give the cash discount. Now, did the guy pay us? No. No means you no need to care about the cash discount. Cash discount only used whenever you pay. Understand or not? Okay, the simple key point that I always remember is when you buy, you calculate the buy or sell, buy or sell, there will be a trade discount. Whenever you pay or someone pay you, then there will be a cash discount. Remember this. The trade discount whenever we buy or whenever people buy from us. Cash discount whenever we pay the guy or the guy pay. Anyone pay lah. Cash discount only for the payment. So here they give you simply to confuse you lah. Okay, number 4. Which item would be recorded in the General Journal of Bakery? Year 11 student can answer this. I think year 10 cannot answer this. Year 11 can answer this. Year 11. General Journal. Last week only we learned this. Year 11 students. Okay, I also don't know the answer. Let me read the question. Purchases of the flour. Purchases of the flour on credit. This one is the goods. If it's a goods, we record in a purchases journal. So number 3 is wrong. 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 Okay, now. Written by a customer of faulty bread. This is the written by the customer means this is the sales return. So it will go to the sales return journal. It will go to the sales return journal. So number 4 is wrong. You buy a motor vehicle. Yes. Correction of error. Yes. So answer is A. Very good. Okay, question number 5. 5 no need because the 5 and the previous question same, no need to repeat. Okay, 6 and 7. 6 and 7. Try. I give you maybe 2 minutes. I give you 2 minutes. Faster. Okay, can I continue? Okay, number 6. Jamel sold goods on credit. Where did he first record the invoice he issued? Where you normally will record the sold goods on credit. Just now I got to explain. And also year 10, the normal tuition also I got to explain this. Okay, some of you still got a problem on the sales journal and sales ledger. It's sales journal or sales ledger. What do you record in a sales ledger? Sales ledger, we open all the trade receivable account. All the trade receivable account we open in the sales ledger. In a sales journal, we record all the credit sales. So this is the credit sales. So answer is C. Answer is C. Okay, next question. Wilma bought 5 items from Margaret at the list price of 40, subject to 50% cash discount. Wilma later returned 25 items as they are faulty. Which document did Margaret issue and Wilma return item? Who is the Margaret? Wilma is the buyer. Margaret is the seller. Margaret is seller. So seller will send. Seller never send debit note. Seller never sent a debit note. But how much? 40 list price. List price means they haven't minus the discount. So we need to minus the discount. How do we minus the discount? 40 times 15% is how much? 6. The discount is 6. So 40 minus the discount, 34. One item is 34. How many items you return? 25. Answer is A. Answer is A. Understand not? Okay, before we end our lesson, can wait down. Okay, the question actually we are done already. Can you go to the wait down one question? We do one question. This page. Can you go find this page? Last question. This is the last question. Then we take a break for year 11. We continue with the year 11 later. Okay. Jake manufactures CD players. He has a credit customer, Rashida. So Rashida is the buyer. Jake is the seller. They have exchanged the invoice, debit note, credit note on the statement of account. Complete the following table for the documents exchanged between Jake and Rashida. The first item had been completed as an example. So the first answer, invoice. The reason is to record goods sold on credit. There's a 2 key point must be there. Sold goods, credit. Must have these 2 key points. You can write, you can construct the sentence as wish as your wish. But your sentence must have these 2. Goods sold, credit. And the issue by Jake. Okay, I give you maybe 3 minutes to answer these 3 questions and then we'll discuss the answer. Try 3 minutes for these 3 questions. Awesome. Okay, we try. Can we? Debit note. Debit note is to ask or to request for reduction in invoice. Who will send this? Buyer. Buyer is Rashida. Credit note. To accept requests for reduction in invoice. Who will send? Seller. Seller is Jake. Statement of account. Statement of account is to summarize the transaction for the month. Who will send? Seller, which is a Jake. Okay. For the answer for the question number 6, 5, and 4, all these 3 question answer I already saved. I already saved in a what we call in a Google Drive link just now that I shared. Wait, now let me share the link again. And whatever that I write here, the annotated file, this annotated file also I will save after this lesson. I will save inside this link. Later you can, after this class, you can go see lah. Okay, I think that's it for now for year 10. We take like a 15 minutes to break. Then you join for year 11. For year 11 students, join 11 o'clock. Okay, any question you can ask me. No question, later year 11 student join lah. We use the same worksheet that I give you just now, the year 11 worksheet in the link there. Thank you. Bye. Any question? You ask me. No question. See you later, year 11 students. Bye. Bye. Any question? Ask me. No question. Later you join back 11 o'clock.